Hello, I am the Latino nerd, and here giving you an NBA draft review. Now it's pretty late over on my end. Had a really busy day. Happy Friday for those of you. It's 10:42 over in my time, so I'd like to go over a couple of teams that had a good draft. Some of them had a bad draft. A couple teams in particular. I'd like to start off with the Atlanta Hawks. They had a really glaring need at small forward. They had little to no wing help. Thabo Cephalosha was not the same player that he was before he got shot. Kent Bazemore stepped up, had somewhat of a career year, but it still wasn't enough, and it really showed their need for a small forward, a proper small forward, against the Cavaliers in the second round of this year's playoffs. And you could really tell that the Atlanta Hawks really was missing DeMarre Carroll after he left Atlanta to go to Toronto. And look how Toronto did this year. Atlanta fell. Toronto moved up to the second seed. And they really gave the Cleveland Cavaliers a run for their money in the East Finals. However, that being said, going into the draft, the Atlanta Hawks know they had need at small forward. They have a upcoming free agent in Kent Bazemore. So what do? You look at the best player available at that position, and the best player available for the Hawks was Taurean Prince, small forward out of Baylor. Now, what this guy does is he brings defense and long-range shooting to the Hawks, and that's extremely important because that is exactly what DeMarre Carroll brought to the Hawks when he was there. Now, DeMarre Carroll, he really developed his three-point shot, but this guy comes equipped with a three-pointer. So this is really a huge get for the Hawks because now they have a starting caliber small forward that can play defense and has a long-range shot. And that really helps when you talk about a team that really looked like it was a small forward away from just defending LeBron, putting a body on LeBron. And they also traded Jeff Teague away, so that's also a plus. Now Dennis Schroeder can actually move in and be the facilitator that he's shown to and proved himself to be. And the Hawks weren't done there. They wanted to address the small forward again, and they got DeAndre Bembry from St. Joseph's. Now this guy, he's not the same. He doesn't have the same range that Prince has, but what he does do is he attacks the basket. He's a great cutter to the basket. So that's extremely important for a small forward coming off the bench, because another thing that Atlanta also had a glaring need for is depth, and they didn't have much depth. They didn't have much scoring off the bench. So yeah, this guy doesn't have the mid-range or three-pointer that Atlanta would want, but he can cut to the paint, he can attack the basket. He'll be good in transition for sure. So a great two draft picks for the Atlanta Hawks. Now moving on to the Celtics. The Celtics, I feel, failed this year's draft. They deserve a real big fat F, in my opinion, because there was so much talk about, okay, maybe they can get Kevin Love. Jimmy Butler is apparently available. Maybe they can get him. They have the players. They have the draft assets. They have everything you would want in a trade. The problem is this year's draft was really only down between Ben Simmons and Brandon Ingram. And sadly, Celtics had the number 3 pick, not the number 2 or number 1. So, Celtics fielding offers. So the Bulls were obviously into Chris Dunn from Providence. So the thinking between the Celtics fans is, oh, why didn't you just draft Chris Dunn, give the Bulls a lot of draft picks and a couple of players, and then boom, we got Jimmy Butler. See, it doesn't work like that. Every team, I feel, in any sport, always asks around, inquires about their best player. All right, you know what? Maybe maybe we missed the playoffs. Maybe we didn't have the year we expected to have. All right, who's our best player? Okay, it's Jimmy Butler. All right. Realistically, we did sign him to a long-term deal, but let's just call a few teams, see what his value is, and that's all the Bulls did. Really, they wanted to see what the value was in the market. They weren't realistically going to trade Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler was a better player without Derrick Rose. And do the math. If Jimmy Butler is a better player without Derrick Rose, you get Derrick Rose out of Chicago. So, That's really the thinking of Chicago. So that's why every trade with Chicago failed. So all right, Chicago doesn't work. Let's try Utah. Gordon Hayward's a great player. Let's try to get Gordon Hayward. No, apparently Utah and the Celtics did not do well. Phoenix even tried to get Gordon Hayward. That trade failed. So the Celtics couldn't trade any of their draft picks. No one wanted the draft picks, so they ended up taking Jaylen Brown with the number 3 overall pick. And this pick really was questionable because they already had Jay Crowder at small forward. So it was like, why would you take a guy at that position? But realistically, it was you had to make a pick. If you couldn't trade anyone, you just had to take someone. Just don't come out empty-handed. Just don't cut off 4 of your 5 fingers while you're at it, because that's what I feel Boston did. They had 3 first-round draft picks coming in. They used one on a Jaylen Brown out of Cal. The other 2 they use on European players that aren't even ready for the NBA. So what do? They're probably going to draft and stash them. You don't know what draft and stash is? Draft and stash is basically where you draft a player from Europe or from any part of the world, and then you hold on to their rights so no other team can get them, and then you just let them play in Europe or wherever they're playing until you feel they're ready to play in the NBA level. And that's not what the Celtics need right now. The Celtics, they're a good team. They made the playoffs. So they're obviously in win-now mode. So you have to take whatever offer you can get. I feel the Celtics, once they heard Butler was available, they set that was the standard. If we don't get a player like Butler, we can't do anything. So I feel that the Celtics shot themselves in the foot. They had all these assets. Danny Ainge is looking pretty uncomfortable controlling that entire team, because now the assumption in years prior, if you had all these draft picks, you would at least get one veteran. But now with so many players coming in and the NBA draft not being what they used to be, especially with the one and done rule, the draft is just 1 or 2 players tops that could be all-star or superstar caliber players, and the rest could just be role players, and that's really hurting the NBA draft-wise, especially because now a lot of teams don't value draft picks like they used to before. Now it's more, all right, let's just get veterans. Let's get veterans. Forget the young guys. We're going to get veterans and win now. And a lot of teams have suffered for that. Especially with that, because now it's, okay, we got to keep this guy healthy. We don't know if he'll stay healthy. And it's risky, but the potential for this kid is sky high. So it's a good pick for potential. Okay, second round comes along. Brooklyn says, all right, we'd like to get one more player. We're not satisfied with just getting LeVert. All right, ring, ring. Hey, Utah, how much would you like for your pick? We don't have any more tradable assets, but we have money. Let's buy this pick from you. Okay, we'll take X amount of dollars. All right, who do you want? We want Isaiah Whitehead from Seton Hall. All right, great. Why is this an important pick for the Nets? Because this guy's a scorer, and he's a facilitator, and he can help open up the floor, and he's got great court vision. So immediately, the Nets, at the end of this draft, have 2 solid guards that can score. Especially with LeVert when he's healthy. You got a guard that can score, and you got another guard that can also score, but he can be a great facilitator as well. So good job on the Nets for a great draft when they had 0 draft picks going in. The Brooklyn Nets. Now the Brooklyn Nets come in. All right, new general manager, new coach. Mikhail Prokhorov has complete control. Okay. What did we do? We fired Lionel Hollins. He didn't seem to fit whatever we were trying to do. We have Thaddeus Young and Brook Lopez. All right. So we don't have a first-round pick. We don't have a second-round pick. Fine. Let's see what we can get. All right. Who's our best player? Brook Lopez. Can we trade Brook Lopez? Well, he's kind of the reason why the Nets still sell out games. So let's not trade him. Okay, who else do we have? We have Thaddeus Young. Okay, Thaddeus Young. Yeah, we can get away with him. We can trade. We can see what we can trade for him. All right, let's call out a couple of teams. Let's see what his worth. Indiana Pacers come calling, ring, ring, ring. Hey, we're interested in Thaddeus Young. What would you like for him? we'd like the number 20 pick. Okay, sure, here's the number 20 pick, and that's just a basic breakdown of what happened between the Nets and the Pacers. So now with the number 20th pick, Pacers come calling Brooklyn. Hey, it's your turn. It's your selection. Who would you like to draft? Okay, well let's see. What do the Nets need? They need scoring. Okay, all right. Well, these are our players on the board. Just tell us what you tell us what you want. Get us Karis LeVert from Michigan. Oh, all right. So get Karis LeVert. Here's the thing about LeVert. He is injury prone going into the NBA. That's something you kind of don't want, because if you're injury prone already going in your rookie year, there's a lot of baggage that comes. Now the biggest trade of the night came from Oklahoma City. They traded Serge Ibaka to the Magic for Victor Oladipo, Urion Ilyasova, and Domantas Sabonis. Now, Domantas Sabonis, he's a good prospect to develop. The Thunder may be able to make him into another version of Ibaka, maybe even better. Ilyasova is a good veteran to have, just to have another body. And unless he gets cut, but I don't think he's going to get cut. I think Ilyasova is going to step into the starting role for where Ibaka would originally be playing at the 4 until Sabonis is ready to play at that position. And also, Oladipo immediately, I feel, becomes a starting shooting guard for this team. So that really helps out, because now you move Roberson to the bench. He can come off, play defense, and actually help out the bench with Dion Waiters. And Dion Waiters won't be the only scorer there, and the only one playing actual defense. So, good trade for both sides. A lot of analysts are saying that the Thunder basically stole this trade from the Magic, because why would you trade Oladipo and your number 11 pick? And you know what? You can say that the Thunder did steal, but if Ibaka goes back to his days from 2013, entering a contract year, then the Magic might have just won this trade, because that play from Ibaka might have just elevated the Magic to a potential playoff berth. However, this trade also probably negates Dwight Howard return to Orlando, because now Ibaka has Orlando has a rim protector in Ibaka. Now they could easily entice Dwight Howard to play alongside Serge Ibaka. I don't know how that would work, but you know what? If they can pull it off, go ahead. Good trade for OKC, good trade for Orlando, in my opinion. Both sides win. Now the biggest trade of the night came from Oklahoma City. They traded Serge Ibaka to the Magic for Victor Oladipo, Urion Ilyasova, and Domantas Sabonis. Now, Domantas Sabonis, he's a good prospect to develop. The Thunder may be able to make him into another version of Ibaka, maybe even better. Ilyasova is a good veteran to have, just to have another body. And unless he gets cut, but I don't think he's going to get cut. I think Ilyasova is going to step into the starting role for where Ibaka would originally be playing at the 4 until Sabonis is ready to play at that position. And also, Oladipo immediately, I feel, becomes a starting shooting guard for this team. So that really helps out, because now you move Roberson to the bench. He can come off, play defense, and actually help out the bench with Dion Waiters. And Dion Waiters won't be the only scorer there, and the only one playing actual defense. So, good trade for both sides. A lot of analysts are saying that the Thunder basically stole this trade from the Magic, because why would you trade Oladipo and your number 11 pick? And you know what? You can say that the Thunder did steal, but if Ibaka goes back to his days from 2013, entering a contract year, then the Magic might have just won this trade, because that play from Ibaka might have just elevated the Magic to a potential playoff berth. However, this trade also probably negates Dwight Howard return to Orlando, because now Ibaka has Orlando has a rim protector in Ibaka. Now they could easily entice Dwight Howard to play alongside Serge Ibaka. I don't know how that would work, but you know what? if they can pull it off, go ahead. Good trade for OKC. Good trade for Orlando, in my opinion. Both sides win. Time to get to the rant part of this video. Oh boy. What is going on in Sacramento? Alright, so you look at Sacramento, they have George Karl as their head coach. George Karl is the head coach of the Sacramento Kings. They have DeMarcus Cousins and Willie Cauley-Stein as their starting centers. Willie Cauley-Stein can play the four, so they play the same position, and they usually spend most of the time on the floor together. Okay, so you have a solid foundation on the front court. All right, what do we need? Well, you know, the Rajon Rondo experiment didn't go so well, and we just traded Marco Bellinelli to the Hornets. So, what can we do? Well, you know, since Rondo's probably leaving, and we have Darren Collison, who's apparently a domestic abuser, and he's gonna get charged, we could use some backcourt help. Okay, all right. Let's use the Bellinelli trade and get this guy Richardson out of Syracuse. Okay, good. He's a solid scorer. He can go play in the shooting guard. He essentially replaces Marco Bellinelli. All right, what else do we do? Let's get two centers, two European centers. All right, let's get two centers, even though we already have two centers. Run that by me again. All right, great. We have Willie Cauley-Stein. We have DeMarcus Cousins, our franchise player. Right, good. So we should get backcourt. No, we should get more frontcourt players. No. But that's what they did. The Kings drafted two centers plus a guard, even though they have two centers and no guards. So, realistically, if you're the Kings, you look at Boogie, you look at Willie Cauley-Stein, and you think, all right, we have our foundation at the front court. Let's get them some wings help. Let's get them a backcourt that can actually play, a backcourt that George Karl likes. So this really speaks to me on a level where the Kings might trade DeMarcus Cousins. DeMarcus Cousins might be on the trade block come the trade deadline in the next year's season. Because I don't see any other reason why you would pick up two centers. I don't see any other reason. Unless you're thinking, hey, free agency's coming up, let's see if we can get DeMarcus Cousins out of here. Even though you're staying in Sacramento, you're getting a new stadium, DeMarcus Cousins is your franchise. The hell? So the Kings, I feel, because of this draft, they are going to be another top 5 lottery pick again. They're going to fall in the lottery. They're going to have a really bad year. It's going to be a lot of dysfunction. George Karl may or may not get fired. The upper management owners are behind George Karl. Rajon Rondo was very frustrated with George Karl, and DeMarcus Cousins expressed his sentiments about George Karl as well. Remember last year, 2 years ago actually, Mike Malone was fired, and DeMarcus Cousins was not happy because DeMarcus Cousins was actually happy with Mike Malone, with Malone as the head coach, and management just felt opposite. So, you know what? Good luck to the Kings. If you're a Kings fan, I'm sorry, but it looks like it's going to be another down year for you guys. The Kings might be the new 76ers, because the 76ers, they had the process failed until this year, once their Sam Hinkie left the picture, and now Ben Simmons is here, and now the Sixers can finally build around Ben Simmons. So that's it. I think the Kings are your new 76ers. So far, the Hawks and the Nets and the Thunder had great drafts. The Celtics and the Kings, among other teams, did not have a great draft. I'm the Latino Nerd. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button. Follow me on Twitter at Latino_nerd. Please be on the lookout for any of my live streams. I will be live streaming a lot of games, maybe some Uncharted 4 online, maybe some WWE 2K16. If you want to see a live stream of a certain game, please comment below. But I leave you with this question. Who do you think won the NBA draft? Who do you think lost? Who do you believe won and lost the draft? That is the question. Who is your winner? Who's the biggest winner and who's the biggest loser of the NBA draft of 2016? I'm the Latino Nerd. Yo te veo. No te veo.